Yeah, thank you for that, Pigeon, for that. We shall play the African anthem in a few minutes' time before our brother Satish shares his analysis of Haiti today. The time is 1918 GMT, London time. And on behalf of the Consensus Study Group, I'd like to welcome you all. Brother Pigeon, Satish, DJ, Mr. P, Joseph, Theresia, PACF, Michael 5X, Brother Numi, and Joan Kimani. Welcome, all of you. Hopefully, others will join us. We always start with the news wherever you are, and we do that in order to get a sense of the balance between positive and negative forces on the continent. Positive forces being the forces that want the liberation, unification, and the development of the continent. Negative forces being those that want to keep Africa subjugated perpetually and who want the resources of Africa to be used for the benefit of non-Africans and imperialists and so on. So we look at the news to get a sense of where the continent is heading. We usually read a newspaper published in South Africa. It's a weekly, published in South Africa called The Continent. But they are on holiday for 3 weeks. So they'll be back sometime in April. So today, we'll focus on what we consider to be the main news, and then others can share whatever news they have from wherever they are. So I'm going to play the video. This is a video of the winning of the election by the opposition party in Senegal. I don't know how much we all know about Senegal, but Senegal is a West African country. It is a country from where Sheikh Anta Diop comes from. Sheikh Anta Diop was the gentleman who wrote the book, The African Origin of Civilization, True or False. The book that shook the world when it appeared. It was one of the, in fact, one of the first books as I read as a Pan-African that opened my eyes. I went on to read other books, but Sheikh Anta Diop is one of the leading lights of the total liberation, unification, development of Africa in terms of culture and so on. He's just amazing, and he comes from Senegal. And no wonder somebody will say, well, it's not surprising that Senegal, under the guidance of cultural icons like Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop, has been stable. One of the few, maybe the only country in sub-Saharan Africa that has had a coup. There's been coup in other African countries, but Senegal has always been stable, no coups. So people were really worried when Osman Sonko was arrested because President Sakimal Macky Sall didn't want to relinquish the presidency, and we can understand why. Your guess is as good as mine. France is behind it. But anyway, the people rose up, and although Sonko himself was barred from standing, his right-hand man Faye won the election. So I want to share his presidential statement after he won the election. Here we go.
It is high time for France to lift its knee off our neck and put an end to this unjust oppression. Centuries of misery.
Can everybody hear that and see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Brother Kwame.
Yes.
Is this Sonko or the new president?
This is the new president. This is Faye.
I'm not sure.
No. That is Sonko.
This is Sonko. No, this is not Sonko. Sonko is is it Sonko? I don't think this is Sonko.
That's Sonko.
Brother.
That's Sonko.
This is Sonko, yeah?
Brother.
Okay.
I've been working with Pastef. That is Sonko.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that clarification. But is that DJ Mr. P?
Yes, it certainly is.
Yeah, DJ Mr. P, thank you.
Back in the house.
Yes,
I'm
you.
back.
Yes, yes. When you say so, we know it is right because you. so, brother DJ Mr. P, just remind us, does Sonko speak English?
Sonko is
You know, the reason I ask is that the English is so good, but when I heard the same thing, the background I'd heard the person speaking in French, and it was being translated. So I wanted a
because I
sense of
don't
how
think he
quite
does.
easy.
I don't. He's Pastef. I don't think he does speak English. If he does,
Right.
it's very limited.
Okay. What about Faye?
Faye, I think.
Yeah. Does he speak English? Anyway.
No. Hold on. He was educated. Hold on. Where was he educated? I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
Anyway.
Yeah.
No, anyway, not to worry. So this is Faye basically speaking, but
Faye.
when this is Sonko speaking, correct? So when this was circulated, we were told that this is the president speaking, but clearly it's not from what you are saying. Is that correct?
That's not that's Sonko there. That's Sonko.
Okay. In that case, I will not play then, yeah, because that's
why we don't have to play it? It still makes sense.
Because it's misleading. It's not the president, is he? Anyway, if you want me to play it, I will. But the caveat is this is not.
Put a caveat in there. Yeah.
This is Sonko, the one that was barred from standing on spurious rape charges.
Well, they were both put in jail.
Yeah, but my understanding is that Sonko went to court and he was found guilty, which is why he couldn't stand. But Faye was not found guilty of crime. That is why he was able to stand. Yeah, no, thank you very much. Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, but we all know Sonko's not guilty. We all know
yes,
he's not
well, yeah.
Human trafficking.
Yes, apparently it is politically motivated. Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. All right, let's listen to.
But before you go, we must also give credit to Mbeki for helping to ensure that the guy moved out. So
yeah, in fact, Mbeki and other elders have really been involved. Anyway, thank you. Right, let's hear what he has to say.
Colonization and neocolonization have caused immeasurable suffering. It's time to put an end to this cycle of oppression. It's high time for France to leave us alone.
Sorry, I would just say that the reason I ask is that if you look at his lips, it appears to be speaking. He's saying it appears to be rhyming with the English. So anyway. Here we go. Sorry, I just stopping that.
It's time for France to take a cue from its European neighbors and learn a valuable lesson in independence. Germany is the leading economic power in Europe, significantly surpassing France, which is ranked as the third or fourth largest economic power globally. Germany does not exploit any country, any colony. I can mention Italy, I can mention Spain, who had colonies before, but who do not exploit anyone, who do not interfere, who do not impose leaders in their former colonies. On what grounds does France believe it can continue to impose leaders on us and make choices on our behalf? This must come to an end. And the emerging Africa, the African youth, the African elites, and the African diaspora all stand united in saying, no, it cannot continue any longer. France's hypocrisy is evident and pervasive in daily life. Let's examine the cases of Mali and Chad as prime examples of this hypocrisy. In Chad, where the constitutional process has been interrupted, France applauded and its president visited to officially consecrate the new king's coronation ceremony. In Mali, where it is not the constitutional process that has been interrupted, but the transition process, France has condemned and even packed up its things to say that it is leaving Mali. That's hypocrisy. It's the double standard. It is the double language that France employs in its dealings with Africa. During our questioning of Mr. Jean-Yves Le Drian regarding the situation in Ivory Coast and France's decision to allow a third term, he provided a clear explanation. He stated that while he accepted the third term for Ouattara, he refuses it for Belarus. He emphasized that France has condemned the situation in Belarus. and has actively encouraged the European Union to do the same. Le Drian explains that in Belarus, millions protested, unlike Ivory Coast, where there were no mass demonstrations on the streets. This is how France deals with African issues. Personally, we expect absolutely nothing from France. We desire her to cease meddling in our matters so that the people of Senegal can exercise their freedom of choice rather than being influenced by France's selection of a candidate using the tactics we are aware of. We begin by targeting individuals, adorning them with the Legion of Honor or a similar knightly rank, enlisting them in Masonic lodges, and informing them to prepare themselves as they will be next in line. Even the hypothesis that Macky Sall may not succeed, we know who is being prepared by France. This must come to an end. It will not occur in this manner any longer. Let's be clear. We have absolutely nothing against the French people. In France, both political and citizen voices are rising to hold and express the same discourse as the one I'm currently presenting to you. For example, the deputies, such as Mrs. Frédérique Dumas, who regularly speaks on the platform of the Assembly, who regularly writes to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, since she is a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, to raise this unfair behavior of France towards Africa, hold the same speech as us. The same Mr. Jean-Luc Mélenchon, Jean-Paul Lecoq, André Chassaigne, all deputies, hold the same discourse as us, and hundreds of other voices. The NGOs, like other non-profit organizations, are doing remarkable work in the same direction. We strongly urge France to listen to the voices that speak to it about our plan for a more collaborative, fairer, and sustainable partnership between Africa and France. It is crucial that we work together towards a future that is equitable, just, and environmentally conscious. If she listens, I believe we'll have beautiful days ahead in our collaboration together. If he doesn't know how to cut it, thinking he can continue to function like in the time of our grandfathers, this African youth no longer accepts it. France must make preparations for a definitive break and completely withdraw from Africa. Africa belongs to Africans, not France. She belongs to no one else, neither China, nor the United States, nor anyone else.
All right, thank you. So we've heard from Sonko. We shall, before Brother Satish shares his presentation on the current analysis of Haiti, and let's briefly hear from news from others who have news they think they should share with us. I'll just go through the list. If you have any news you think we should know, quickly, please share it with us. Let's have Brother Satish himself. Brother Satish, is there any news you want to share with us? And can we all be brief when we are sharing, please? Thank you.
Well, I would like to suggest another topic on sport, African sport, and how important it is to the development of Africa. But that is obviously for another day.
Okay, thank you. Brother DJ Mr. P, any news?
Yes, sir, I got some news.
You've been working with Sonko, as you said. Anyway, yeah, Sonko's party.
His party anyway.
Sonko's party, yeah. Carry on. Any news for us?
Yeah, I've got a bit of news, just a little bit. And I was actually quite lucky to speak with the current president of the Pan-African Parliament on Monday. So a friend of mine who's an MP in Gambia, he was with him. He's actually with the president, and he called me. So while I was on air, I actually got to speak with the Pan-African president. His name is the Honourable Chief Fortune Charumbira. That's his name. So he got re-elected to be the president of the Pan-African Parliament in South Africa. That happened on Monday. So we had two excellent bits of news. One, my Faye in Senegal winning the election, and also my man there, Chief Fortune in South Africa, being re-elected for the Pan-African Parliament. So yeah, that's the news. Yeah,
that's good news, because then that means through you we have a link as CSG with those positive forces.
We do indeed, and he also said he will be coming on my radio show. He said he heard about me in London, and he does want to come on my radio show, but he got whisked away by the paparazzi, so I didn't get to chat to him on Monday, unfortunately. But he said he will definitely speak with me on my show. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much, Brother Joseph. Any news from your end, quickly?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that the session is being recorded, because sometimes
it is being recorded indeed. Yes.
Okay. I will just say briefly, there was a webinar that was led by David Commission of the ambassador to CARICOM ambassador. It was around that day, that is on the 21st of March, in relation to people, the slave, the experience of enslaved people. I don't remember the exact name right now. But one thing I want to point out from this exercise is that the representative of Guadeloupe told us that as they themselves seek the independence from France, they are being told that if they do that, they will become like Haiti. I just want people to be aware of that, how the propaganda is being used for other people in the Caribbean need to be freed up to Guadeloupe, Martinique, and Saint Martin and the rest, and French Guiana.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's part of the sheer wickedness and vindictiveness of France. Very wicked, but not the French people, but the French government. Very wicked. Sister Theresia, I will pronounce it right. Do you have any? Please, if you don't have any news to share, feel free to just pass. Yes, Sister Theresia. Any news you want to share with us from your end of the world? Your microphone is unmuted, so you can't speak if you wish. Okay, all right. Let's go to PACF then. Right. There is someone named Tech2's iPhone. Please, can you alter the name of your phone to your name, please? We want to know who you are. Thank you. Tech2's iPhone. Can you please change that appellation to your name, please? First name, whatever you want, but yeah, thank you very much. Yes, let's go back to PACF. PACF. Any news?
Sorry, no news for me today. Sorry.
Thank you. Michael, 5X, any news?
Greetings, sisters. The only news I've got is to warn people to be aware, because we're having an effect. I was hacked on Monday, so our enemies are taking note of what we're doing. So just to be aware, take precautions. Don't allow unnecessary. It's a constant attack, right? But just be aware.
Yeah, Brother Michael, thank you. We are aware of that. I myself, I think I'm being monitored. But like Nkrumah said to us, the secret of life is to have no fear. So we're not afraid.
Right. Yeah.
We're not breaking any laws. We are doing the right thing.
We're telling the truth. Yeah. We're just telling the truth.
Yeah. So
exactly.
They don't like it.
Can I say again, Tech2's iPhone, please, wherever you are, change that to your name, please. All right, Brother Pigeon, you know who he or she is?
No, but I wanted to ask if PACFC is Brother Ola.
I think so, from his voice.
Okay.
Brother Ola, is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. From his voice, because I know his voice, so I recognize his voice. Brother Inumi, any news from Nigeria?
Right now we're having the exchange with solidarity greetings. Yeah, the only thing that seems to be making news now is a sharp drop in the cost of dollar rates to naira. So it used to be 1,800 naira to a dollar. Now it has dropped drastically. It has dropped to about 1,200 to a dollar, and is making some news. While some of us are seeing it as some drama playing. They are just playing because already the supporters of this government have started shouting Osana, because they have been able to bring down the the rate of dollar, but which some of us see as just script writing. They are just playing some scripts. They've written out, and then the cost of the same, and because we are now seeing the same, and of course the price of things are not dropping at the same rate. They shot up when the dollar was when the rate was going up. So I said the same thing. The pump price, the government is also promising that the pump price of fuel is going to come down from about 700 per liter of a PMS. But we are yet to see that, because these are things that are affecting cost of living drastically in the country. So we are yet to see. So it's exactly 10 months since the Tinubu got to power. So it's just like America is doing what France is doing in the Francophone is what America is doing with Nigeria, putting puppets on the leadership of Nigeria. Not people that can take Nigeria out of their grips, but people that can entrench their holds on us. So Tinubu and Buhari before him, they were choices of America to keep Nigerians' resources available for them. It's quite unfortunate, but we're happy. We're seeing some other things around the West African sub-region with what is going on in Senegal. Thank you.
Yeah, Brother Inumi, the military, we understand, surrounded Bayelsa, the Bayelsa state, because of the killing of some soldiers. Has that siege been lifted now?
It's not Bayelsa. This time it's Delta State.
Delta State. Has that been lifted now?
Delta State, yeah. It's not been lifted, but I think they've not moved in the way they did in OD. OD was the one in Bayelsa that was under the former president Obasanjo. They've not moved in, but they've declared some people wanted in relation to the military, murder of the military, and they were also now getting further information that the military officers that were killed too have also initially killed some people. So the killing of the military is actually retaliative killing, but they didn't let us know that it was a retaliative killing, that the militaries have also killed people, some people unjustly. So that's why their killing was retaliatory. So
but what we heard, Brother Numi, is that the military that were killed, the military that were killed were not true military. They were fake military officers that were dressed like military. Anyway,
military officers.
Yeah. No, thank you very much. Let's go to John Kimani. I'm not sure if it's John, but John Kimani, any news from where you are? So can we all be a bit brief, yeah? So we can move on to the main agenda, although this is also a main agenda. John Kimani, any news from where you are?
As we're having Safari Rally, it's where cars compete, and it will go up to tomorrow.
Sorry, what's happening? Where are you based, if I may ask, John Kimani?
Oh, hi. I'm in Kenya.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Right. Okay. Ajamu Ifa Muwagun. Please, Ajamu, any news you want to share with us?
I don't have anything.
Thank you. Godfrey. Godfrey, I see you relaxing, listening to us. Any news you want to share with us, Godfrey? Oh, Godfrey has no microphone. Okay, let's go to Sister Shola in the US. Sister Shola, any news from the US for us?
I'll pass. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Sir WHK. Can you share anything with us from where you are? Thank you. Sir WHK, can you identify yourself, please? Thank you. Sir WHK, can you please identify yourself? We don't know who you are. Thank you.
I think he's got his mute on and doesn't realize it.
Well, he should unmute himself or herself and tell us who she is. If not, he or she will be removed. Is that no, that's Sister Marie. Sir WHK, identify yourself, please, or you will be removed. All right, we'll give him or her some time. Maybe he or she hasn't heard us. We'll come back to him or her. Brother Pigeon, get ready to remove that person. Thank you. Brother Coco, any news from where you are? Coco is not responding. Let's go to Brother Ras. Brother Ras, South Africa. Any news from where you are?
Or specifically the lack thereof, and how they were intentionally getting rid of programs that promoted diversity. And now you're here again.
All right, Brother Ras is not responding. Sister Marie, any news from where you are? Sister Marie? Then.
Hi, sir. Sorry. I'm just putting my headphones on so that I can, because I'm in transit.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's fine.
Okay.
Sister Nancy Wright, any news from where you are?
I just joined, so I'm not really sure what the context is.
Any news that you think we should know about from where you are based? Where are you based, first of all? Where are you joining from?
Yes, I'm joining from the occupied Piscataway territory, that is also known as Maryland here in the United States.
Okay, and is there any news from your end of the world that you'd like us to know about?
I
just
think
one important one is
one
okay.
important thing is just the recognition among activists that we have to be better at coordinating our work. The enemy is very coordinated and very, understand their relationship to one another, and we have to connect our struggles better, no matter what we're struggling for, no matter what part of the world we're struggling on behalf of.
Oh, thank you very much. Brother Pigeon, please get in touch with Sister Nancy, because this is what we've been talking about in CSG, that we need to coordinate what we are doing. And Sister Nancy, just so you know, we have been in touch with organizations trying to see who is who, so that we can all meet as organizations and coordinate ourselves. So Brother Pigeon, his name is not showing, but he is the Constantism class, the hosts. He will contact you privately so that you can share your email or contact with us. Thank you very much. So we've now heard the news from around the world. Yes.
Permit me to say that Sister Joan is a young lawyer from Kenya. She's joining us also as a young lawyer who is interested to give time for the Pan-African goals, and she's committed to that. So she's ready to volunteer her time on a Pan-African cause. So she's a friend I know.
Excellent. Please let her know that we are looking for legal minds to help craft a new constitution for United Africa.
Yes,
so, and then so if she can be part of that working group, so that when we hold a constitutional conference, that constitution will be laid for a vote, so that we can move forward. So we are not just saying we want a continental union. We want to also craft a constitutional document that we can share with everyone in terms of how we want the continent to go forward. And legal minds like Sister Joan are what we need.
Okay. Then brother Jamu from the Thai City University, from Sister Lawrence, the people are interested in the philosophy course. So that's also just to remind you, Brother Jamu is one of the directors in the Thai City University. I think you have met him before.
Not
in our meeting, in our Sunday meetings during the plastic course.
I didn't see his face, but he was there, but we didn't see his face. Thank you. We've been joined by Brother Okenga Ukelo of South Africa, I believe. Brother Okenga, any news from your end before we move on to the next session, which is presentation by Brother Satish on the current analysis of Haiti?
Oh, greetings, members. There's no news this side. We just here, we're still struggling here.
But I thought there was a Pan-African conference coming up soon, Brother Kenga, that you could have shared with us. You can share with us, no? Isn't there a Pan-African conference coming up? or has it happened already?
I'm not well knowledgeable about it. Maybe Coco, because Coco.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Brother Kwame?
Yes.
Brother Okenge is from Uganda. He's leading a group, a Pan-African group called Marxism, Leninism Thoughts. So they are also studying Marxism and Leninism, but it's from Uganda.
Yes, and hopefully he can join us and share that with us during in our Thursday classes. Right, so we've heard from everyone. Thank you all for sharing your news. The purpose of the news is for us to get a sense of where the continent is going. And the way we do that is look at the positive side of the news, the positive forces and the news that come from there, and the negative forces and the news that arise from there. And then from there we can strike a balance. So yeah, that's why we do it. We will do more of that going forward. Let's now move to the next session of the class, which is to hear on the current analysis of Haiti. Last week we had Satish did an extempore. It was an amazing presentation on Haiti. I mean, it was just wonderful. He spoke history as if he was there live and was reporting from the field. It was just amazing. And now we then also asked for, so we know the history of Haiti. Now we want to know the current state of Haiti, and hopefully we'll look at the future of Haiti. So, Brother Satish is going to present mainly on the current situation in Haiti. If we can look at the future of Haiti in this session, we'll do so. If not, we'll have another session on the future of Haiti, which some of us believe should be in the African Union, but we'll come to that when we get there. The issue of Haiti arose briefly because we were looking at the sheer vindictiveness and wickedness of France. France, as an ex-colonial power, went around killing presidents on the African continent. And it was just terrible, destroying infrastructure because Guinea, for instance, decided not to be part of the Pact for the Continuation of Colonialism. And France thought that there was something excellent about colonialism so much that our leaders, our Francophone leaders, have to sign a pact that they would like it to continue. I mean, the whole idea is horrendous. It is inflammatory. It's annoying. I mean, some of us were just angry, just annoyed hearing what France was doing. And then France is now blaming Russia and wants to put boots on the ground in Ukraine and all that nonsense from France. Anyway, but the Satish in the historical analysis made it clear that the reason France is able to continue with this nonsense is because they got away with imposing sanctions on Haiti and got away with it and put a debt on Haiti. And so that's why they were emboldened to do it. The party that Brother DJ Mr. P works with in Senegal, that party, one of its manifesto statements is that it wants to have a new currency. And so let's watch that space. It wants to have the ECOWAS currency, wants to come under the ECOWAS currency. If not, as I understand, they will come up with their own currency. I don't understand why the West African leaders are also wasting time. They are happy to go in and fight Mali and Burkina Faso because they remove new colonial leaders. And yet they can't just make a decision and get this West African currency up and running. I mean, after all, we have the ECOWAS passport. So I have one now. A lot of us now have ECOWAS passports. Is the East Africans have an East African passport? Why can't we just have a currency, one currency, and move on? Anyway, so the issue of Haiti came up in this context. So Brother Satish will then move on and continue his analysis of the current situation.
Excuse Brother Kwame, just for clarification, when are we going to play the anthem?
Yeah, we're going to play it now before Brother Satish starts. Yeah.
Okay.
Brother Pigeon, are you ready, please? At this point, I think you should. Let us all unite and celebrate together. So I'm going to be sharing the anthem. The anthem is in English, by the way.
Brother Kwame. Brother Kwame. Brother Kwame, I'm sharing the anthem. Can you hear me?
I think he was saying, let's not get used to sharing the English. I think the Swahili is
Why
better.
are we recording the meeting again? I want to understand. Brother Satish, are you recording the meeting?
Brother Kwame?
Yes.
I'm the one recording the meeting.
Yeah, but is it a new recording? Because it started when we started. Why is it re-recording again? Did it stop recording?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Let me play the African anthem, and then Brother Pigeon.
I think we should be using the Swahili more than the English.
Yes, we played the Swahili last week, so let's play the English this week. I don't understand Swahili. Some of you do. I don't. And some of, not all of us understand Swahili. Next week, we'll play the Swahili version. Thank you.
Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. All sons and daughters of
that's partition.
Okay, the the reason I wanted that song to be played again is so that one, it was recorded, and two, so you could all have a chance to listen to the lyrics of it again, because he's right. We really should be very, very sorry that Haiti has been ignored and unappreciated for so long. It isn't simply a case of that successful revolution. That revolution could not have happened if it wasn't for Africa. These people, 90% of the population of Haiti were enslaved at the time of the revolution. They were Africans. They were still people who remembered where they came from. Different parts of Africa, sure, but Africa nonetheless. This is one of the main reasons why it is so important for Africa to stand tall with Haiti. And it's over 200 years later than it should have been. The situation in Haiti was that Jean-Jacques Dessalines chose to become emperor of Haiti. And he did it partly because he knew Napoleon was intending to become emperor of France and planned to do it before Napoleon. And he did. Within 2 years, it was said that Dessalines was excessively brutal. Well, wars and revolutions do tend to be brutal. And it was a situation where the level of brutality that was faced by the former slaves was worse. If you do remember, there was a revolutionary general called Maurepas. He was captured and they executed him and humiliated him in his execution by nailing epaulettes into his shoulders. And then they let him drown. Dessalines' response to that was, well, if you are going to react and treat us with brutality like you did when we were slaves, then have a bit of your own medicine. And he gave them the same level of brutality. It is what we would now say war crimes were committed by both sides, but you cannot equate the violence of the oppressed with that of the oppressor. It happened because they were oppressed. They have been accused of trying to kill all the white people. Well, this is complete nonsense. I don't know if you are aware in Haiti, but have a look and you will see that there is this rather strange phenomenon. And that is, you have a lot of black people with Polish surnames. Have you ever wondered why? The reason is that Napoleon's Grand Army recruited European soldiers from wherever they conquered. Among those that they conquered was Poland. And the Poles naturally agreed with the Haitians because they were an oppressed people. They were people who wanted freedom. So they sympathized and empathized with the Haitians, with the slaves. So they actually came over to the side of the slaves, the enslaved, and they helped fight for the revolution. That is why when you look at the treatment of the Grand Blanc and Napoleon's army that he sent and compare it with the treatment of the Polish, it's completely different. It wasn't a racist revolution. It wasn't anti-white. It was pro-liberty. And that has to be remembered. You had the problem of the dispute between the mixed race and the enslaved, because some of the mixed race thought that they were going to be treated as had previously been the case of gens de couleur, which is gentlemen of color. And they thought they were going to share power. That is what they had been told. That is the great lie. It happened that Napoleon managed to achieve something that was almost impossible. He actually managed to find a way to unite the mixed race and the enslaved. And it was the deception used to capture and deport and effectively murder Toussaint Louverture by taking him to France and leaving him to die of neglect and cold and pneumonia in France. They tried the same thing with the leader of the mixed race revolutionaries, André Rigaud. That was the final straw. That achieved the things of uniting the mixed race and the enslaved into the liberation fight. And what is very interesting is while the Louisiana Purchase was underway in around April of 1803, it didn't get completed until December. Why is that important? Because the Battle of Vertières, which signaled the end of French rule of Haiti and any chance of the restoration of colonialism and slavery in Haiti, was in November 1803. So while Thomas Jefferson, helped provide some arms to the Haitian revolutionaries, he also knew of Napoleon's plan to restore slavery. He also knew that this was their chance to restore slavery and keep slavery in the United States. But it gave them something more. It gave them the chance to become a superpower. That is something, a debt they owe. Now, I refer to what I term the debt that can never be repaid. Most people think I'm talking about the indemnity. I'm not. I'm talking about the debt the world owes to Haiti as a beacon of liberation. It has achieved something remarkable. It was a beacon of hope. I don't know if you were aware of this, but the first country to recognize Greek independence from Ottoman rule in 1827 was Haiti. And it provided the only support that it could at that time, which is it sent coffee to the Greek revolutionaries so they could sell it and buy arms. That is a measure of the solidarity that the Haitians provided. And they did this, you'll notice the date, 1827, 2 years after the criminal extortion of the indemnity. That happened, that was agreed to in July 1825. I should rephrase that. Agreed to is the wrong expression. It was out and out extortion. It was an amount that had no basis in any kind of correct value. There is no way that you could value what the French colonial settlers lost by how much was extorted from Haiti. They actually deliberately chose an amount that meant there was no way Haiti could repay it at one go, which meant they would have to borrow the money. And that was the intention, because it wasn't paying once this extortion, it was twice. You had to pay the interest as well. So it's not just the principal that you were paying, it was the interest as well. And that meant that it started in 1825 under King Charles X of France, and it continued until 1947. But it is also very important to note that it wasn't just the French banks that profited from this, it was the US ones. They bought and borrowed the debt. One thing that is needs to be mentioned is the collapse of the monarchy. Emperor Emperor Jacques I, i.e. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, ended in 1806 with his assassination. That led to Haiti being split into the north and the south. The north became a kingdom under Henri Christophe and a kind of imitation feudalism, feudal monarchy based on European monarchies, with Christophe as a king, dukes and barons and the rest. It happened again years later, which I will come back to afterwards. But first, there was a civil war again within Haiti. That ended after the death of the great Alexander Pétion in 1818, with the war continuing and ending with his chosen successor, Jean-Pierre Boyer, defeating the north of Haiti and uniting the island. I shouldn't say the island, sorry, uniting Haiti under his rule. With Christophe had suffered a stroke and committed suicide. Within a week of him dying, his son and designated heir was killed by the revolutionaries, taking power again and uniting Haiti under Boyer. When it is said that there was an indemnity, this is an absolute nonsense. It wasn't an indemnity, it was extortion. And it was at gunpoint. Gunboats threatened to destroy Haiti. At that point, the French could do that because it wasn't a case of they wanted the island back. They wanted the money. They wanted to cripple the nation. And that is what they did. They would not have thought twice about destroying the country, destroying its prosperity, and destroying any chance of a normal life that Haitians had. They had no choice. Yes.
I know you had some history you have to cover, but if you can then move to the current affair, it would be good. Just finish the part you had to say, and then we move to the present of Haiti situation, please.
Sorry?
I know you had some bit of history that you had to recap on.
No, that's why I'm getting to it. This is basically finishing it now. Essentially, what we are getting to is that this is led to the present, and it led to it because after this, that indemnity led to further corruption and idiocy under the Emperor Faustin in the 19th century, which wasted resources that they didn't have, and then led to the US invasion in 1915. It was a very, very difficult situation because there was a power vacuums left, right, and center. Governments were overthrown. There were assassinations left, right, and center. This went on from 1915 to 1934, the US invasion, which coincided with the change in the laws that allowed foreigners to own property and companies within Haiti. That is the completion of the problems of the debt. It led to further dictatorships, eventually the Duvalier dictatorship, and the use of gangs, i.e. the Tonton Macoute. It isn't simply a case of barbecue or Cherise and the gangs that are now a big, big problem within Haiti happening overnight without any notice or without any reason to understand why it happened. And the reason I was presenting it in the way that I was so you could actually see this started way back. And it is a situation that Haiti is in the current situation that it is in. It is in a desperate need of assistance because the same problems that we are seeing now have not been dealt with for a very, very, very long time. You have leaders assassinated. Not so long ago, Jovenel Moïse was assassinated, which led to the situation of Ariel, the new president, the prime minister, Ariel Henry, who was forced out of power recently. He was a suspect in the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. There were gangs running the place at that time, all over the place. Jovenel Moïse knew about these problems. He could not organize the elections that he wanted to. Or virtually the last thing he managed to do was appoint Henri as prime minister. So now you have got to the situation where we are in the position of Haiti needing assistance and it being left in a situation where it has been absolutely devastated. So the current situation is the then Prime Minister comes to Kenya having agreement from the United Nations, which is quite happy to pay Kenya to provide peacekeeping, so-called, to Haiti, but it doesn't actually deal with the problems that Haiti has. It is simply an opportunity to spread some resources and but not the danger. The real problems of peacekeeping in Haiti is going to be paid by those who go, the peacekeeping missions. So it's going to be Kenyan lives, if indeed it is Kenyan police who are going there, who are going to pay the price for this failed state, as they like to call it. It's not a failed state, it's a wrecked state. So the situation now is, what should we be doing about it? And this is in the present. To deal with this particular situation, we have to get a united approach and an Afrocentric approach, an African and Caribbean approach that goes to the United Nations and said, we're not simply going to let you go and throw away Black lives in Haiti to try to fix a mess, which is not really trying to fix that mess. It is simply trying to maintain a status quo. We need a solution that allows Haiti to develop in the way that it should have been allowed to develop for over 200 years. That is not going to happen with the current interventions in Haiti, because it's the same solution. And that's why I was trying to put it in the way that I was doing it. I was basically trying to say, look at the history. It's the same thing. It's the same interventions. It's the same elite that rules. It's the same problem time and time again. And what's the solution? The same thing. Well, if it hasn't worked over 200 years, why do you think it's suddenly going to work now? It isn't. So we need to develop a solution in tandem with the Haitian people that gives them the chance to develop their country the way it should be developed, and for it to be seen not as a failed state, not as a wrecked state, but as an example to the whole world.
Thank you, Brother Satish, for that. I will also give a bit update in regards to what's the current situation in Kenya in reaction to Haiti, which is current now. Then brother Elder Joseph is able from the Caribbean can also give the current context on the ground now. So currently, Kenya is still insisting on sending the soldiers to Haiti. This is even after the Haiti Prime Minister left here and was actually, as you know, he either resigned or forced to resign. The Kenyan government insists that they are ready and they are going to Haiti and they're still sending the police officers. The US Parliament has actually questioned the funding that was supposed to be allocated to Kenya for the mission. And to them, they are stalling it because the Kenyan government had a court order that was stopping the mission. But the president seems to be ignoring the court order. So the US is saying through the Congress, whom I think are trying to actually bring down Biden's forceful use of this mission by saying that, why do we have to pay money to Kenya where there's a court order that stops the mission? So this is the situation we are in. But Canada came in recently also to add another money to Kenya to go to Haiti. The latest report I got today from the news in Kenyan media that the head of Haiti gang, Barbecue, has said that they will treat Kenya as aggressors and invaders, and that the situation and the issue, the solution for Haiti must be left by the people of Haiti. And any foreign country that is coming in, whether they're black or not, will be seen as foreigners and invaders. And they say that Barbecue says that he has actually lowered down his stand on no negotiations and is ready to have a talk, but a talk that includes them in that table for a discussion. We are aware that recently, of course, the US called for what they call ceasefire dialogue and transition government, but this is actually what stopped. There ought to be a transition, but they have delayed that transition up to this moment where we are. So from Kenyan position, the Kenyan government still insists that they are ready to send the police to Haiti, and they're being training, even though some Kenyan police officers have been withdrawing, and they've been withdrawing from that mission, and actually, one of them died. So one of the Kenyan officer who is, it's been believed that it came out to the Kenyan news that there were police officer who died in Haiti. It's not that Kenya had not sent the people in Haiti. There's a survey team of very high-tech police officers who went to Haiti. This was led by the Deputy Inspector General Gabo, who went, first of all, early January to US. It was December, January to US. Then from US, he went to Haiti to discuss the situation there. Then the deputy of that Inspector General from Kenya, the assistant of that Deputy Inspector General in Kenya, died. And he died in US, and it was being said that he died in US in a room, while the media information is coming out that he never died in US, he died in Haiti. And that there might be more people who died in Haiti, but they have not been able to actually come to public to tell us this. So there is actually a team that went to Haiti from Kenya, the expert team, and some have died there. And the government is not ready to disclose this information. So that is the current context in Haiti and the Haiti mission from Kenyan angle. Probably if Brother Joseph can be able to share something from Haiti level at this particular moment or from Grenada. Elder Joseph?
Yeah, I was trying to get one of my colleagues in Haiti to come on the program. I don't know if he came on, and maybe that was the one that wasn't responding. And but I've tried my best to get as many Haitians on board today. What I could say to you is that that council that they have set up, which is, I think one person have declined to be on it. The news is that there is confusion over the voting powers of the 9, albeit there's 8 now, because I think two people on that council doesn't have voting rights. But what some of the folks in Haiti have said, and I could say that because I heard them say with my own ears, that the council have little to do connection with the people, and that council or that grouping was mainly the creation of outside forces. And they say that the only solution to Haiti's problem can only come with the involvement of the people, and a continuing position will not work. And who said, I think was a Pigeon talk about the Kenyans would be, or whoever comes in would be held as invaders. That is true. The problem is that CARICOM have remained silent, or just every now and then make a statement about here and there, but no consistency in their approach, because they are waiting on instruction from Uncle Sam and Ottawa. Unfortunately, they were quick to invade Grenada in 1983, but they have no appetite to find a solution in Haiti because they take instruction from Washington and Ottawa. Unfortunately, the one good thing about it is that, and quite a bit of item have come in the media lately on Haiti. You had that Indian, that Rion or whatever, they did a nice piece on Haiti, the history, giving you the background. I mean, and other other Haitians have been talking about it in social media. So whereas in the last 2 or 3 months, you would have hardly anybody talk about Haiti. Now we're hearing more and more people are talking about it and the need to do something, not in the way that Uncle Sam and his cousin and his brother in Ottawa wants to do things. It doesn't work and it will not work. They are the problem makers, and they cannot be the problem solver. The people of Haiti must be given a chance to do so.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Back to you, Brother Kwame.
Yeah, thank you. Brother Pigeon, who is Tech2 iPhone? Do you know him or her?
No.
Okay, I've removed him or her to the waiting room. I've tried to find out who he or she is, but no response. Right, so we finished the Haiti presentation, or Brother Satish has finished. Let's open the floor to discussions. So let's hear from everyone. And what do you think? We'll start with Mr. We'll start with DJ Mr. P.
Thank you, my brother. Satish, thank you so much for your presentation. Some great information and historical facts there. I mean, much of what I suppose I can repeat, but I put the messages in the group because this kind of stuff just raises my blood pressure, and I'm quite upset and annoyed at the history of Haiti, which I'm aware of, well aware of. You know, at one point, Haiti was actually the breadbasket of the West Indies. They were feeding the whole of the West Indies, and it's as you rightly said, it's France and America that destroyed the country. But moving forwards now to modern day, I did report on Kenya's involvement last year on the BCNN update, and saying that as far as my sources provide the information provided by my sources, they're actually being paid. The Kenyan government, or should I say Ruto, is being paid over $100 million to send his special police force basically off to their funeral, because these guys in Haiti, they ain't playing. They are not playing. There's a guy, an ex-army guy who's Haitian, who's already said that it's going to be a bloodbath. And well, he didn't say it's going to be a bloodbath. I said it's going to be a bloodbath because these Kenyans know nothing about. Kenyans are nearly 10,000 miles away from Haiti. They know nothing about the island. They know nothing about the people, the culture, and they know nothing about the territory. And frankly, I think it's CIA that are running these gangs out there anyway. I think it's the feds that are running this whole gangland thing that's going on out there to destabilize and keep the country destabilized, because when that earthquake happened, and which was, in my opinion, it was not a natural occurrence. I was in the region at the time, and I got reports from people saying they saw something in the sky just prior to that earthquake. And then I did my investigations into HAARP, and it's quite possible that that earthquake was caused by HAARP, because America, who found themselves in Haiti, I think the American army were in there within a day or two. So why none of it makes sense. You destroy the place, you're keeping the country crippled. Yeah, you harp up the place, and then you're pretending that you're out there to help in the relief support effort for the Haitian people, like you suddenly started caring about the Haitians. No, I could smell a fish. That was 20 years ago. I could smell that fish. So I knew something was wrong. And I remember people did say at the time, they did see something they've never seen or experienced before in the sky prior to the earthquake. So I don't think that was natural. There are earthquake machines out there, and they have had earthquake machines around since the 80s, and they are scattered around the world. And I think that it's they're drawing the iridium mineral, which is a very, very expensive metal, much more expensive than gold and platinum. And Haiti's got a whole heap of iridium in the mountains, and that's what they're doing out there. They're just extracting. It's no different to what's going on in Congo. When you look, you're seeing the same patterns everywhere. These people are they're like parasites. They're like parasites. Yeah. So when you look at our history in Africa, what's going on in Haiti, it's nothing different. It's exactly the same thing. So that's all I really wanted to say on the situation. And, you know, it really gets my goat, you know, seeing that this is happening and you don't hear anything about it, like Congo. You don't hear anything about it. Nobody cares about it. And all the attention is going to other crap in media that is of little or no significance to us as Pan-Africans. So I'll land my plane there and give some breathing space for the next person.
Yeah, thank you very much, DJ Mr. P, for your presentation or your thoughts on Haiti. So my understanding is that what you are saying makes sense because
bro, we lost your voice, bro. Can't hear you. We lost your voice. Nah, okay. You've gone.
Okay, Brother Kome, I think he's working on his audio. So once they work on his audio, he can be back and he can proceed with the sharing his thinking. Meanwhile, if you are willing to share something, we have some few minutes, but raise up your hand so that I can easily call on to you because we are over 16 here. So can you just put your hand up? I can easily call you and have you a space to speak, please. Yeah, somebody's hand is up. Who is that? Kindly go ahead.
It's me. I wanted to ask Brother DJ what HAARP was. He said HAARP, and I didn't know who they were. Please.
Oh, sorry. HAARP. HAARP's an acronym. It's HAARP. Right. It's an acronym. High Frequency Auroral Research Project. Long story short, American military and British military own the project. What it was originally, how this whole HAARP thing started, I'll give you a very brief history on how it all started. There was a guy back in the 80s, I can't remember his name right now, and he was hunting for oil. He was looking for oil. And he found a way of finding oil, literally, if you like, well, not literally, but figuratively, by X-raying the ground. He's X-raying the ground with radio waves, right? So what he'd do, he'd send a 25-watt signal down into the ground, and every single time he got the right response, he found oil. But what happened was, every time he beamed a low-power signal, 30 watts of RF into the ground, there was a tremor soon afterwards. Now, what's happening is the frequency he was using was shortwave, around about 6 megahertz, around about that range. And what happened was they used, when he was going around from state to state doing the same thing, and every time he kept finding oil by using his method of beaming radio waves into the ground. Long story short, military got hold of it. Raytheon, one of the military contractors, I think they're British, they got hold of the technology as well. So HARP, what they used it for, and this is going to lead into a lot of other stuff. And a lot of people say I'm a conspiracy theorist, but it just seems that everything I've said regarding my so-called conspiracy have happened or are happening. So what they did was some clever scientists thought, well, look, instead of beaming it into the ground, what we'll do, we'll send it up into the sky. And they used the radio waves to heat up the ionosphere. But that's the charged boundary that we have around the Earth, yeah, of charged particles. But what in doing so, they're not sending 30 watts up there. They're sending about 3 million watts. So what it's doing is it's actually heating up the atmosphere, and they use the ionosphere to reflect the signal back down to the Earth so they can look at large areas of land for mineral deposits, etc. That's what they were doing. But in doing so, when they were pushing that kind of power up into the sky, they were changing the weather, which is what we're seeing now, right? So yes, climate change is happening, right? But it is not a natural phenomena. What we're experiencing right now, yeah? They're harping up the skies, yeah? And it's also connected with the chemtrails, all this other stuff. I mean, it's a deep, and I've posted videos on this and information on this, even when I was teaching broadcast 20 years ago. So it's out there. The information's out there. It's HAARP. Just do a search for that and you get all the information you need to know, my sister.
No, I think we need to have a session on that, brother. We'll talk about this. I think it's very interesting. Brother Kwame, are you back? Brother Kwame? Okay. Anybody want to come in? Just raise up your hand. As I've said, we have so many here, around 16. But if you want to contribute to something in regards to our Haiti current situation, please let your hand be up so that I can be easily called on to you, so that you can come and share something. Let me check on the chat list. Yeah, somebody's hand is up. Can you go ahead? Yes.
You. Can you hear me?
Yes, Angela, I can hear you.
Okay, so what I will just say to everything that has been said so far is, from my understanding, is the economy of Africa is to be readdressed.
But Angela, can you work on your signal again, please?
Can you hear me now? I pulled off my earphones. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so we need to readdress so many certain things in Africa, because I think one thing that matters is knowing when to use the culture and knowing when to use the popular ancestral Indians of Africa. When I agree to some of the issues of the failed states, we must also be drawn back to understand that we can rebuild if we are only able to work together. We can rebuild when we are only able to understand the right means and the right fundamentals of why we are partnering. Because if we are over 100 million people, I'm not just talking about Kenya, but I'm talking about Africa in full. Different countries can come together if there is a proper unit of transport for people to be able to understand why we feel that certain things are happening the way it's happening. Because the colonization officers, they might have left, but the thing is, they want to come back to invest. So we must not allow the issue of the colonization to retrace the issue of investment and how much deposits we are also going to give to them.
Okay. Jonah, you work on your audio, but I think you must have... Brother,
we must be able to unite.
Brother Angela,
yes, sir.
Work on your audio, please. Your network.
Okay. I'm in a stable place. Can't you hear me?
You're breaking. Okay. Let's get to somebody. Brother Kwame, are you back? Okay, anybody want to speak? Can they come in? Just raise up your hand so that I can be able to call you. Yes, can you proceed?
Yeah, I think in terms of what can happen now, I would echo something a sister from Haiti said at the beginning of last year when
Hello,
we were
can you?
like, what can we do to help the people of Haiti? And she was very blunt, very young woman, I think maybe about 21, very astute. She said, first of all, begin to work at wherever you are. So whether it's in your community and so on, and also seek to influence the politicians or the people of influence or power in your area so that they don't support at the international level, regional, international level issues. I mean, situation that continues to compound or entrench the situation in Haiti. So at the individual level, at the local level, do everything. And I think one of the first things we need to do is what we're doing here, arming ourselves with the knowledge, true knowledge, not the propaganda knowledge. I mean propaganda that has been dumped on us, and to that extent we have accepted over the years. But to get ourselves very knowledgeable so that we could be confident to speak, to be able to speak at any moment and all the time on the real situation in Haiti, and who is responsible. As I said earlier last week I was on this webinar to mark this 21st day in March, something with UN and slavery and so on. That was led by David Commission, that ambassador to CARICOM. Barbados, I think, ambassador to CARICOM. And in that thing, a number of interesting conversation came up, the disconnect between the people of the Caribbean, especially by language and so on. And the folks from Guadeloupe were saying that as they seek for their independence, they're being told that if you go that route, if you try to get independent, or even try to connect with the rest of the Caribbean and so on, you become like Haiti. And we have to be able to dispel that. This is not true. It's a colonization, new colonization, imperialism, the rape of resources in the Caribbean, in the island of Guadeloupe and Martinique. There are people who are suffering from the effect of the banana plantation. When banana was king in that colony, although they call it department, there are people who are suffering from the environmental effect on the banana plantation. And no compensation. Nobody is concerned about health. Cancer is high in those areas. So they're telling, the propaganda is that if you go try to be independent, you end up like Haiti, and we must refuse that.
Yeah, thank you.
Everything.
Brother Pigeon, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you proceed?
No, it's okay. I just want to check if you can hear me because I feel being interrupted.
Loud and clear, brother.
Brother DJ BCP, as Brother Michael 5X said earlier, that I feel I'm being interrupted. But
we are. That's why I'm not on Facebook. That's why I'm not on Facebook anymore, man. They deleted my account. They did a lot of nasty things to me on Facebook.
Yeah, these people are nasty, aren't they? Very nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Brother Pigeon, the time is 8:45. Perhaps you should move on to now. I know Brother Sakishi's hand is up. I don't know if he wants to say something, but can we move to getting a sense of what people think we must do? So what should be done?
Yes, I'm also getting Brother Ola up. Probably can come in the angle of also in his contribution, he can also contribute to what he thinks must be done.
Okay, thank you.
Start with all of us. Brother Ola, please, then we'll go to Shorties.
Okay, yeah. Just to say thank you very much for the presentation, Brother Satish. And you're absolutely right. Everything that is happening is rooted in 80s past. So yeah, I thank you for pointing that out. You mentioned a couple of things, and one of the things was that that what they're doing isn't going to work. And for me, clearly, when you talk about isn't going to work, we have to be clear what works for them is in their interest. So any type of intervention works for them. You know, with regards to Kenya, Ruto, and the forces that are going to come in, again, just solidifying his neo-colonial status and people getting paid good money. So, you know, we got to be clear about that. I totally disagree with you, brother, Mr. P. You know, similar to Grenada, the American or whoever comes in doesn't necessarily need to know the terrain. It's good that they do, but if they're coming in with weapons and they're going to be supplied a superior grade of weapons, especially bombs, and military air cover, it's totally different. It's not a war in that regards. With regards to CARICOM and the way in which the stance, we all know Irfan and Maya Motley extremely loud and vocal with regards to reparations. But with regards to this matter, there's a deafening silence. And maybe that is connected to a couple of things. One being the promise of a a UN chairmanship. The other area is the whole fandango around the CARICOM's reparations, which is going to clearly cause a wedge between the others, such as Africans and other non-CARICOM organizations looking for money from reparations. So I think that's all farcical.
So what must be done?
Sorry, what must be done?
What must we do?
Yeah, what must be done is clear to me in terms of looking at OAU, so ECOWAS, OAU, and the United Nations, and how irrelevant they have become. In fact, I would take it
what
further.
must we do? What must we do, brother?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
The OAU is no more, as you know. It's the AU now.
Sorry, but the AU is the same thing. They've all been bankrupt since they've been in existence. The AU is nuts. And we make the mistake of putting them on this pedestal and talking about them as though they're going to do something. We need to stop doing that. Same with the United Nations. And I would go back to this whole matter of civic society. You know, what is civic society doing? Civil society. It doesn't matter which war, which atrocity, which genocide we talk about, civil society is in a daze when it comes to capitalism and the units such as Britain and America dictating to what the world should do. So less than 1% is dictating to easily over 87% of the world. It's ridiculous. So in terms of answers, I don't think there's any easy answer, but civil society needs to look at what we call government and governments. I'll hold it there.
Sorry, Brother Pigeon, can I ask Brother Ola, when you say that, what do you mean? Can you throw more?
Can you just take over for the next 10 minutes, please? Just proceed.
Now, I wanted Brother Ola to throw more light on that. What he means by civil society, looking at government.
Civil society. How we all pay homage to the Western so-called civilization in terms of paying homage to parliamentarians, paying homage to these various corporate entities. We ourselves as people need to relook at these people and how we see them and how we pay homage to them, how we pay their wages, how we keep them in positions of power.
So what must we do? I understand what you're saying.
As I said, no easy answers.
I understand, but we want to hear your view. What do you think we should do? In looking at them,
even if I had the answers, it's not something I would say on air. Okay. So it's no easy answers, but that is the issue.
All right, thank you. We'll contact you privately for your view. Let's move on. Brother Satish, you've heard a lot. Any comment from you?
Yeah.
In terms of
I
suggested
could
solution?
either comment now or wait for
Okay, in
the
that
other
case, yeah,
two
that's
with
fine. Wait
raised
then.
hands to say their bit.
Mr. D, yeah, wait then. DJ Mr. P.
Thank you, brother. Just like Ola said.
Before you speak, I heard Brother Ola saying he disagreed with you about something.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure whether you talked about war, but anyway.
Sorry, that was my bad. I was talking about Grenada and the invasion of Grenada by the American forces. Sorry, Mr. P.
No, that's right, brother. No, I mean that's a completely different ball game. What happened in Grenada? That's a different, completely different scenario. Yeah. But what I will say is, as I said, I really do believe that it's going to be a bloodbath in Haiti, and this is it's going to get very, very messy down there. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ruto thinks he's going to send his top brass in there to go and kick ass. They ain't coming back from Haiti. I don't. Well, if they do, they'll be in body bags. I really don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. They say that every single time. Remember Iraq? Yeah. Oh, we'll be done in a couple of months. Yeah, right. Remember Ukraine? That should take 3 weeks. They said. Yeah. Look at what's going on in Palestine. Yeah, they're killing people in Palestine. They're not getting their objective was Hamas. You can't kill an ideology. Hey, you're dealing with guerrillas.
But DJ,
sorry,
DJ Mr. P.
Solutions.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I would have thought that the Haitians would come to the African Union. I hear what Brother Ola is saying.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to, if there's an issue and you want Africans to be involved, why go to one African nation? Why don't you
country
go to the
specifically
African Union and ask them to send a multinational force? So, for instance, when Ethiopia had a problem in the Tigray region, and it turned out that the CIA and so on were all funding
all over the place.
Egypt. Yes. Egypt wasn't happy about the Nile, got America to talk about it, and Ethiopia said no. And Ethiopia went to the African Union, but it went through. So the prime minister he approached the presidents one by one, and he basically got the African Union involved. And when America came, they told America, "Look, we can solve this problem ourselves." So what I don't understand is why
America picked Ruto.
No, why Haiti would go to just Kenya? Why don't they go to the African Union and seek the help from the African Union?
Yeah.
And rather than Kenya, which is just one country. Anyway, that's just my thought on that.
No, that's a valid thought, and I want to respond to that because you know there's a lot of media talk that Haiti approached Kenya. That's a load of rubbish. Yeah, that's all propaganda. That is a load of crap. Yeah, America has done a deal with Kenya. As you know, Ruto is not on our side. He definitely ain't on our side. Ruto is a puppet. Yeah, so
is he a CIA agent?
I wouldn't
CIA agent? I don't know. I'm just asking.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's the headlines in the papers or on media tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me. But he's definitely not on our side. He's not a Pan-Africanist. And he is being paid by America to do this. Yeah. And again, you've got a valid point. Why, if Haiti needed help, why did they not approach the official body of the AU? Well, I don't think that happened I don't think that would have happened anyway, because the AU, like I said in the chat room, both the AU and CARICOM, they need to be dumped at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. They're a waste of time, load of rubbish. Yeah. They're not doing anything and you can put ECOWAS in there as well. You can just toss them all into the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Yeah. They ain't doing anything for us. They're not doing anything. But in terms of solutions to the problem, we have a huge problem. I think we've actually started on the solution because we're doing it right now. As Brother Joseph rightly said earlier on, I'm aligned with what he said. What we're doing right now is what needs to be done, spreading the word and educating each other about what is going on. Yeah, this is what the conversation we're having right now is a hell of a lot more important than sitting down and watching Netflix. Yeah. So I think we are doing the right thing, and we need to step up and what we're doing and team up with other people that are doing what we're doing to create that force. I mean, I'm not saying we have to have one entity that's doing it. No, everybody do their own thing, which is fine, right? But what I'm saying is we need to unite on certain things like this. Yeah, when it comes to Pan-Africanism, hence the word pan, is Pan-African, yeah, pan-wide. We need to get together and start working, utilizing the resources that we have. 20, 30, 40 years ago, it'd be almost impossible to do anything. Right now, we've got one of the biggest tools out there, which is the internet, right? And even though Facebook and the others, I've been a shadow banned on YouTube, I've been shadow banned on Twitter, all these places, not because I'm talking about conspiracy, I'm just putting the truth out there, and I'm promoting our culture. They don't like it. Yeah. So as long as we can just keep it moving and keep growing in doing what we're doing and keep uniting, keep joining the dots, keep linking people, keep informing each others, keep forwarding stuff and links and posts and whatever, keep sharing, getting information out there, we will reach critical mass.
Okay. We've got 3 minutes left. That's all we have left. We've got 2 hands up, 1 minute each. Then Brother Pigeon will make any announcements there are, and then we'll bring the meeting to a close at exactly 9 o'clock GMT. Brother Nomi, 1 minute, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to see why, like the chair said, why do we have only one African country being approached to intervene in the Haiti issue? But I don't want to believe that is maybe Kenya is taking. I think Kenya has a reputation of having a peacekeeping police, keeping a peace police that are trained on peacekeeping mission. And I think maybe that is why. And then it's because in a situation like this, we can't put up a force together, make that up of police from various countries if they've not been working together. And they also want us to be careful how we condemn AU, United Nations. They might not be doing enough as their name sounds big, but sincerely, they are doing something in those places. And they are, for example, all of us shouting Pan-Africanism is a little work that AU has been able to achieve over the years that we are building, where we're able to say anything about Pan-Africanism, because most of these countries, most of the countries, we are all
the 1 minute is up.
Yeah, most of our country. So yeah, let us not. Yeah, my point is that let us just not throw the baby and the bathwater away. The way we talk about AU and United Nations, they are trying their best. We know the Security Council of the UN is being pushed around by US, so we should know. But there are intelligent guys doing a lot of stuff in those places. I just want to say that.
Yeah, Brother Nomi, thank you for raising that. Just so everyone knows, our official position as CSG, when members come here, they express their private views. So it's important that the disclaimer should be that it doesn't necessarily reflect the official views of CSG. It's not condemning AU and UN is not our official position. But people who come here are free to express their opinions, their views about institutions, and we won't stop them from expressing their views, but it is not our official position. Thank you. We now have more hands up, but we need to bring the meeting to a close because Brother Satish has to make his final comment, and the time is 9 o'clock, and we don't usually go beyond 9 o'clock. So 1 minute is 1 minute. Brother Coco, 1 minute, please.
The people's voice has to be heard. And it hasn't been heard all this while. That's why all of this mess. And it's the same throughout Africa as well. We need to change the governance system. We need to make people be heard. That is what has to happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Brother Joseph, 1 minute, please.
Yeah, quickly, it has to be understood that Haiti did not approach Kenya on its own. They were instructed. Don't forget, the Ariel was a suspect in the death of Moise. How could he have the legitimacy to invite Kenya? So we have to bear that
Exactly.
in mind. He was instructed by Uncle Sam and Uncle Sam colleagues, allies. So we need to understand that. And why
Exactly, my
CARICOM
brother.
are being
Exactly.
left out. And even though CARICOM is at
Brother Joseph, what must we do? So what must we do, Brother Joseph?
Solutions.
Well, we must pressure, we must call out CARICOM for the deafening silence and inadequate response. When our
we must what, sorry?
Huh?
Call out CARICOM. Call out CARICOM.
Call out CARICOM.
Yeah.
Okay. And ask them to stop deporting Haitians from the various CARICOM islands.
Okay. I have been typing our views on what to do. So yours is number 5. It's all in the chat. Brother Pigeon, I hope you pick them up so we can see what to do. It may be that we write the CARICOM, as Brother Joseph is suggesting. We do have links with CARICOM, so we can contact the chair of CARICOM and make our views known. We might even invite him to come and make a presentation to us on the CARICOM's position on Haiti, which some have said is a deafening silence. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for that. So, brother, so I think we've heard from everyone. Now let's go to Brother Satish for his final comments, and then we'll close. Brother Pigeon, I hope you have contacted Sister Nancy Wright, yeah, from Maryland on working with us. Yeah, please. Thank you.
Does Nancy want to speak?
Satish, final comment. Thank you.
Sorry, does Nancy want to speak or not?
Oh, no. I will just remind Brother Pigeon to contact her, to get her contact, so we can work together. Yeah.
Well, I was actually going to mention something, but I've seen you've already done it, and that is we need to hear the voice of ordinary Haitian people. The big problem, which I hope I've actually illustrated, is that historically we have been repeating the same solutions time and time again. When do we actually look at this and say it's simply not working? It isn't a case of Kenya can go in and sort out Haiti's problems. It can't. It isn't something the OAU can do. It isn't something CARICOM can do. It is something that Haitian people have to be heard. And that is what is missing from these whole discussions and these whole policies. Nobody is hearing from ordinary Haitian people. That's the first thing we have to do. We have to be able to speak to them. We have to let them speak to us. And then we support them. We need solutions that take into account that when we are talking about the great extortion, we're not referring to reparations. We are referring to restitution. Reparations is something separate that comes after or even before, but it is separate. The key point about restoration is that it was an absolute abomination. It was a crime. It was economic destruction, and it was done deliberately, maliciously. France has said, we apologize to Haiti for our moral debt. You can take out the word moral, but to have a moral debt, you have to have morals, and they haven't. What they have done is not immoral, it's amoral. And as a result, they should not get away with this. The rest of the world, Africa in particular, needs to be saying to France, no, enough. You are not going to get away with what you did to Haiti. You're not going to get away with what you tried to do to Guinea and other African countries. You do not get to maintain colonialism. It's way out of date. It was out of date in the 19th century. It has no place in the 21st century. Haiti has to be given proper solutions, and it has to be led by Haitian people. So what I would ask, we're asking about what is the solutions for the future. It must start with getting Haitian people to come on platforms such as this and say, this is
Brother
what
Satish,
we want.
Brother Satish, can you or anyone here help us to make links with ordinary Haitian civic society groups? You see,
I'd have to find my old address book. I do have some contacts.
Ajamu might be able to help with that. Ajamu may be able to help with that because a lot of Haitians are in his vicinity.
Okay,
yeah, I'm on it. I see. Yeah, you guys need to read about Bois Calais. This is an organized group of civilians that are going against the gangs.
Yeah,
so
please.
Whatever news people are getting is
Brother Jamu, we would like CSG would like to make contact with them, and maybe like we are hearing from Brother Satish on Haiti, we would like to hear the voices of Haitians themselves. Now, this issue, just so you know, this issue of hearing from ordinary Haitians is the same problem on the continent. For example, we don't hear from civil society organizations in North Africa. I know some of our brothers and sisters here don't think that the North African countries are part of the African Union or should not be part of a United African. So I hear that, I understand that. But the point I'm making is that we don't hear from them. When we have in civil society units like what we have here, we hear from brothers and sisters from across in sub-Saharan Africa. We don't hear from the North Africans, you see. And so one of the things I'm saying is that we need to hear from them. You know, there needs to be part of some kind of unit that we can have a chat. So going back to Haiti, yes, if you can get us in contact with civil society groups, Brother Jamu, and anyone else, that would be great. So we have a session, so that we have a session and hear from them.
Brother Kwame, I have contact with some Haitians, including in Haiti, but the challenge is, to me, some of them are fighting to even speak out. There's a sister who was on the CSL, the Caribbean Labor Solidarity, and she would have been an ideal person, but I'm not even too sure she's alive because she was expressing this. I mean, we could have seen the trauma that she was facing. I'm talking about the early part of last year. I mean, I have an email for her, but she seldom even answer. I mean, she's terrified. My other colleague, I have a sister organization in Haiti. I tried to get him yesterday. I mean, I don't know if he's alive neither. So there's that difficulty. Okay. No, the Haitians that can be obtained are some of the Haitians that keep in touch with Haiti, and they're not people that up in the sky, but they keep in touch and they have connection, close connection with Haiti.
Yeah. So, Brother Joseph, keep an eye on the time. It's now 9:09. Perhaps I believe you know Brother Jamu. Is that correct?
No.
Okay. Well, get in touch with Brother Jamu. Brother D, Mr.
I know Jamu. I know
okay.
Jamu.
So, DJ Mr. P, maybe you can get in touch with Brother Joseph and Ajamu and do that work for us and get us to link up with civil society organizations on the ground in Haiti. Yeah. So that they can come and do a presentation for us. So that we begin to talk to them. I mean, I hear about Haiti, but thinking about it, we don't talk to Haitians, ordinary Haitians. We don't have a conversation with them. And I think we need to start. Yes, brother Pigeon. Yes, please come in.
I think by the coming in, we will be having the part 3, which is the future of Haiti. And this action you're talking about is now necessary at that point.
Excellent.
3, for us to have the future of Haiti, we must include the voices of Haiti to understand the future of Haiti. So I think we need to have that contact possible. Ajamo have his contact, but brother DJ Mr. P, please help us coordinate with Mr. Elder Joseph so that we get people from Haiti who can come and speak on that part 3, which maybe we can give it 2 weeks because of preparation and getting them instead of 1 week. So maybe in the next 2 weeks, we can organize to have them as the way forward for Haiti, being the part 3 of our conversation. So that's very important for us.
Very
Then
important.
I will also try to link the lawyer in Kenya who took the case to court to actually stop the government from Haiti mission. If he can be able to attend even for some few minutes that part 3, also to understand the legal aspect on his understanding and his case that he took to court. So that would be another good way for us to have the part 3.
It will.
Yeah.
And if you can also speak on the legal side of the African Union, how the African Union from the legal side could or could not be involved, that would be great for us. So,
okay, thank you.
Thank you all, Brother Satish. Thank you for your presentation again and for your way forward in terms of the youth. I know you said you can't be here for the part 3 because you might be in Egypt. But on behalf of CSG, would like to thank you very much for your...
No, I might still be, sorry, I may be available still.
Okay. In that case,
depends when you do the thing.
Excellent.
But may I also suggest that Sister John Kimani mentioned Charlene Ruto as thinking that she has mentioned that she's a Pan-African Vice Chair of the Pan-African Congress Kenyan Charter.
Yes.
And that she thought that she had mentioned this to her father.
Yes.
Can somebody contact her and ask her to...
Yeah, so Brother Satish, Sister Joan herself, who is here, can do that on our behalf in concert with Brother Pigeon, who is also in Kenya. So Brother Pigeon, I hope you pick that up with Sister Joan, yeah?
Sister Joan
yeah, and see whether we can speak to this to Charlene Ruto. It's possible Joan may know her personally.
No, she's the last daughter of the president.
Yeah, so maybe Joan knows her, so that they can work together. So, they can coordinate with us. Yeah.
Brother Satish, I'm clapping for you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brother Pigeon. I hand over to you, so you close the meeting. Yeah. Final comments. Close the meeting and make any announcements. Yeah.
So,
thank you.
Permit me to appreciate your effort, your concentration, and your input. This is the second part you're doing Haiti thing and still catching up. And we would like to ask you, when we share the links, the recordings, like the first part is on the YouTube, can you share it widely so that we can create that awareness as we are doing it now, so many people can also get this information. And lastly, I'd like to say that we are looking forward to build that conversation among the Pan-African groupings and Pan-Africans. So we welcome you all to come on board. Let's have the conversation. And I would like to notify you that the next Saturday, we will give you the update of what we'll be discussing the next Saturday. But now we'll give 2 weeks space for us to get the real people from Haiti and other forces so that we do a proper part 3, which is a way forward for us. We welcome you on our Thursday coming session on Consciousism, which is the philosophy class, and we look forward to you joining us. I've shared the link for our WhatsApp group. Sister Nancy, I've texted you, but you've not been able to get in touch with me via the text or response. I'm really looking forward to where you got the link to join us. I'm the one who posted it, so please get in touch with me. And all who are interested, get in touch with our WhatsApp group. Finally, I'd like to say that, of course, I will be also looking forward to attending the UN forum, of course, this coming Saturday, or from Saturday, and maybe we can have a conversation as also Pan-Africans. As we say, they are toothless, but what do we put forth as Pan-Africans? And I'm looking forward for your support, your solidarity. I know people have committed their support. I'm really looking forward to that support and solidarity so that we can push this conversation further. We are not only talking, we are acting and trying to do our best and the best we can. So thank you very much, comrades. That's the end of this session today. Back to you.
Great session, guys. Thank you. Thanks. Good night, everybody. Yeah. Bye-bye. Great stuff. Thank you. Bye.